Welcome to this episode of Pardon Your French podcast in partnership with Coppercock Gin Distillery. We are here today with Alex Bell, renowned chef in the area, and he's a lovely bloke, so we're just going to interrogate him for about half an hour before he plays a little bit of pool and snooker.
Okay. So I didn't know why I was signing up to this. You tell me.
Yeah. No, well, I know you all right. Like, we've known each other for a few years. Basically, since I moved here, you were running the restaurant at Langevaux
That's right.
at the time. Yeah. But I don't actually know any of your history. Like, how did you learn to cook? Where did you train as a chef in France?
Yeah, I did actually. Absolutely. About 15 years ago. So I moved over in my early mid-30s, and I was scratching around for work. I was a project manager in England, basically.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, so I've got French nationality. So in the end, I was running out of ideas. So I thought I'll go and see a sort of, what do you call it, a sort of careers advisor. And the Pole Emploi, the sort of.
Yeah.
And so I went to see him, and we did a little test. He said, "Oh, you should be a chef." I was like,
Wow.
"Get the fuck out of here! I'm not going to be a chef, right?" It's the wrong side of the bar, the wrong side of everything. And then he said, "Well, you have to do a sort of test, and then if you get through it, then you get paid to do it, and it's doing a CAP, which is a certificate d'aptitude professionnelle, which is like City and Guilds in England, right?
Oh, okay.
Just the same equivalent." I said, "Okay," so went for it, got narrowed down to about 40 of us. Had a little test, and had an interview, and there were 8 places. I got one of those 8 places, luckily, and they paid me €1,000 a month to do the CAP. I went to a bank, I said, "I'm doing this," and they said, "Well, what we can do is we can put your mortgage on hold for a year."
Wow.
So €1,000 a month isn't a lot to live on.
No.
So they put a mortgage on hold for a year, just stuck it on the end of the mortgage period, and off I went.
Wow.
I loved it. I'd been to university, and I tried to do the CAP. So I studied sort of post-grad. I probably had the best fun doing that course with it was for adults, but we were in with 17, 18-year-olds as well, and there were 8 adults as well within that integrated. And because I'd had a degree, I was exempt from all of the academic courses like the maths and the English. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I thought I could just not relearn my French, but iron out any sort of problems I had, and get just a broader experience of it.
Yeah, so you were born in France?
I was born in England. Mum's French, dad's English.
Wow.
And so I was brought up in England.
And whereabouts in England were you?
In Sussex and Brighton.
Okay.
And then West Sussex after that, Shoreham. But I was Brighton through and through, so I went to Brighton College, went to Brighton University.
Wow. Yeah.
And then what happened is I had a flat, and I sold the flat, and that's the money in the bank. And I was with a mate, and I said, "Well, I think I'm going to buy a house in France." And so he said, "Well, that's a good idea. I've just sold a house." He said, "Well, I'll do that as well." So we did, just north of Bordeaux, which is where my mum comes from.
Oh.
And we did it up, and then he bought me out, and moved to the Dordogne. Because I was a student, my third year of uni was as an assistant in college in Incident. And that's how I got to make Dordogne. Well, I know France all my life. My granddad did the Lacanau on the toes. The Berger and the rest of it.
Amazing.
So I sort of ended up here, and then I did so I was about 40, did the chefing course, and onwards and upwards, it's just.
So you did a chefing course at 40?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really inspiring, because to be a chef, I always thought it's like, when you're little and you're kind of like, I want to be a chef, or I want to be a police officer or a vet.
Is it?
I always thought it's that career. I never would have thought, especially if you didn't think, I always want to do that, and somebody else says to you, "You're a chef," and you're like, "Well."
I always enjoyed cooking, but only in a sort of dinner party sort of way, not particularly seriously. No. As soon as I started it, I had some really good teachers and chef teachers, and the rigor and the discipline really appealed to me. That it's like this, and every time we were on the plateau, because we were cooking, we were dressed up with the whole 9 yards, with staff and everything had to be perfect. And I just loved it.
Amazing.
And then we did everything. We did sport, and did all the subject history, geography, we did projects and maths, English, obviously, and French, and I loved the whole thing. It's from 8 till 5:30 Monday to Friday. And then what you had to do was find yourself a restaurant that would take you on.
Right.
So I found one in my village, and I worked with this great chef again. You're a bit of an arsehole, but you're the most great chef.
That's they all are though. Obviously, one is.
I'm not a great chef, so okay. But yes, I had some really good teachers around me, and I generally got into that sort of rigor and discipline of the chefing world, and it opens your eyes up to what's important. Everyone thinks it's like really steady cook or it's like Master Chef,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
It's a lot of production. The creativity part comes very early. If you've got your own place, you have to disrupt somebody else. You just do what you're told to do.
Okay.
And then the rest of it's production.
Is in all the prep work and everything before service.
So every plate comes out the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. Looks great. It's pretty cool. If you go to a restaurant twice and you have one good meal, one shit meal, then
yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? I think in England, to be honest, you'd find that quite often, and then you'd be like, oh, they've changed the chef.
Well, I know it's a young man's game because it's a lot of hours. And yes, they working 14 to 15 hours a day, and some do, some don't. I mean, if you've got your own restaurant, yeah, fair enough.
And you've had your own restaurant.
I had my own restaurant for about 6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did basically when I finished, I got the job at Longevin. I just sort of punted myself out. And then I worked at about 12 restaurants, I guess, altogether.
Wow.
So I working for other people, and then I suddenly got into this idea of people that had restaurants but weren't chefs. So they needed a chef. So we used to do a profit share for the season.
That's great. I guess
I'd work the season, do a profit share.
Yeah.
And then eventually I opened a restaurant with a partner. We moved to another restaurant after a year, and then she bailed out because it wasn't doing very well at first. It takes 5 years, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I bought her out and carried on, and it went really, really well. And then COVID hit, and the dynamic. I had a restaurant in here, so it's like the workers' restaurant, very neat, big English tunes there.
Yeah, you did.
And music nights and Sunday lunch times we do 80, 90 colours and so on. Doesn't sound much of the boss, it's near that yet. So in the sort of middle of the English enclave.
Yeah.
I used to get a fair share of French. But after COVID, the dynamic changed because the workers stopped coming in because they realised that they could just eat a sandwich and finish work early rather than take 2 hours for lunch and so on, and spend less money and all the rest of it. So I kind of took the money and ran, really.
Yeah.
Just shut the restaurant down, sold everything off.
Yeah.
And I took a job. So I just went to Riverhead. It's the biggest brasserie in Riverhead, Cologne.
Cafe de Cologne. Cologne. We were going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only been there twice.
It's just brasserie.
But I loved it.
It's not restaurant. We do sort of a menu du jour, but we do big carts as well. So it's banging out covers more than anything else.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get to be as original as you want to be. But same again, you're working for somebody else again.
Something else, the budget's really tight.
Yeah.
It's just slightly different, but it's part of the job.
Yeah.
But you also realize that you're not, you want to work for yourself again. I mean, it's like once you've done it, and Simon always says that, once you've worked for yourself, going back to working for somebody else is really difficult. Have you found that?
Yeah, I did. I stayed there for a year, and then I got offered a job as a chef de cuisine in a nursing home in EPAD. They call it over here. I thought, great, this is kind of retirement. You got an office in the kitchen. You got 4 staff, and I thought this would be great. I just be doing the ordering. But it wasn't like that. I had a horrible team. Really didn't like it, and left it after 5 months. And went back to my old boss. Said, you want to take me back? And he's like, yeah, no problem.
Nice.
And then things got tighter with the war in Ukraine, for example. That really impacted the price of food and everything.
I knew it did. Like I knew like the petrol, but I wouldn't have crossed my mind about the food side of it.
So like
sunflower oil, mustard.
Yeah. Like food transport as well. So like as soon as fuel prices went up, everything had to go up a little bit because you had to get that stuff shipped into stores to go get it.
Everything went up by probably like 30%. And of course, you have Brexit as well.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? Chiffre d'affaires, the turnover went down by about 30%. So the margins were really squeezed. And we have to be really, really careful. So that it really impacts the quality of the food, if you like. Or you have to work the food harder to make it taste as good, if you like.
So what would be your dream in the next 5 years? To open up your own restaurant again, or?
What I'm really interested in is a very small restaurant. And with a friend of mine who she used to have a restaurant as well, we're thinking about doing just private dining, but in a restaurant. So
What, like a pop-up restaurant?
not-
Private parties?
awesome. So to celebrate your
Birthday or...
40th or something like that.
Oh, yeah, 30th again. Let's go there, Alex. Pop, slip, and...
And you're at the restaurant with, 12 or 15 mates. And
Okay.
you can have the restaurant to yourself all night. You come decorate it, we can talk about the menus, you can have what you want,
Yeah.
work out price. So the restaurant shuts to the public. That's just yours, the venue's yours for the night.
That's a really good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you could hire yourself out as just... Yeah.
Yeah, instead of going into somebody else's kitchen to be their private chef, which is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's got to be really destroyed.
Because you haven't got the gear.
Don't know where everything is.
Yeah, you don't know how the oven's going to heat up.
Yeah.
You don't know how,
I've been offered a few of those, a
Yeah.
couple of wedding jobs. So weddings I don't really enjoy doing. Well, they paid, but it's not really my cup of tea. Private dining, I've been offered a few of those. I've done a couple. Don't really enjoy those. Again, for that pure reason that you're going somewhere, you're transporting, food, somebody else's house, and then you've got to.
So it's like a headache.
Yeah, you have to do prep somewhere else.
It's a ball ache. So
Yeah.
and you don't know what sort of ovens they got, and it's usually a Jeep, so it's
Yeah.
pretty
Basic, if that.
crappy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also the cost.
Yeah.
Cost of your time, when you work it out, it just doesn't really add up unless you're kind of charging restaurant prices,
Yeah.
or even more, where you can work out.
So you need like a base somewhere where you can then bring in people for service and things like that. But again, that's great if you can plan with people.
You're going to try and do it out toward Vertiac then? Is that kind of the idea? Yeah, it's like you guys have quite a big following just from having your restaurant. People know who you are.
Yeah.
People from her restaurant, they know her. Like everyone loves her, and like it's a good combination, the two of you. Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Sounds right.
If it sounds right, it feels like it is right.
You need a work-life balance now.
Yeah.
I did the restaurant. It was 78, 80 hours a week.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
The day off was a 10-hour work day and all sorts.
Wow.
So I think, I just, make enough to get by and be happy. Everything's paid for.
Yeah.
And then spend the rest of my time enjoying myself. But really enjoying myself. Eclectic, if you like,
Yeah.
where I am working, I'm developing my own dishes.
What's your favourite? Have you got like a signature dish?
No, not really. I was sort of, if you want something I really enjoy, these sauces. I love.
Oh, do you love like a sauces?
But yeah, that's so starting off with a nice stock and, keeping all this no waste. So you're keeping all the little bits of, sort of fat and stock and bits and pieces, and then using that to both build up your sauce, which then that's the flavour,
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
You could stick that on a piece of meat or chicken or whatever, and
God, it's just that
Doing it properly.
vegetables as well.
that's it. I mean, obviously, you'll know from the living in England and living in France, is French cuisine like your dream to cook?
I think if you go around, not around the world, but a lot of cuisine is based on French technique.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think it's set the standard, isn't it? I think for everyone to follow.
And after the revolution, then all the aristocracy fled France. Of course, they took their entourage with them, and they so of course they introduced the rest of Europe French cuisine, and that's kind of right developed. And then of course Escoffier got involved and developed. The brigade replacing the military thing. But there's just a bunch of pissheads before that. So yeah, a lot of the techniques you recognise them, and I think as a chef, it's a bit like music in a way. If you see some music, you recognise it. If you can, always think to yourself, if you pick up a guitar and you say, I want to learn to play Wonderwall or something like that, and you spend a year and you can play Wonderwall at the end of it, that's all you can fucking play it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you learn your chords and scales, then after a year or two, you can play.
You can play anything, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's a really good way to
You
analogy.
get all the basics. Well, you guys had that restaurant in Vertier Escalier, which kind of had a bit of an Asian flair, at least when we went that first
It was
tour.
owned by a friend of mine called Melody, and we did a profit share on that. And she had lots of Asian influence. She was a good cook. She had enough of being in the kitchen, so she's front of house, which she's very good at as well. And yeah, we had a very successful year there. And I did have a lot of Asian food, so we cooked sort of tataki. We did beef tataki like 2014 when it just
It was like, it was
Yeah, not here. Now it's like a pretty popular thing on menus. Yeah, it's like they chuck it in there.
So that's the single most successful dish I ever cooked, beef tataki. So beef from the butchers across the road.
Yeah.
And then it was what we call in French ludique, so it's fun. So there's maybe 8 or 9 things on the plate. So you pick up a chip and dip it in this, a bit of meat, dip it in that. And, you're having a little bit of fun eating. So you take your time. You're not just sitting down and just stuffing it down your throat in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can see the joy in people's faces.
Oh,
And even
yeah.
people that say don't like their meat really rare, because tataki, Japanese word is actually just for we call snake, French for cooking it just really quickly, searing it, and you leave it, you rest it, and you slice it. If you slice it really thinly, people that don't like meat very rare, they tend to eat it and enjoy it because you get the flavour out of it.
Right.
It's not a big lump of raw meat for them.
Yeah.
So we get quite a lot of converts to that.
Yeah.
It's-
Anything, if it's done well, will be enjoyed and loved.
So you put it on big plates and you lay it out lovely. You do great, and a spicy coriander sauce on it, and cabbage salad, and I'll forget some of these. Mini chips with it. Add a sesame dressing with it.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really probably the most successful dish I've ever cooked.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd enjoy. Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then what kind of other things do you get your inspiration from? I know I was like, one day I was watching Top Chef. I like watching programs just because it reminds me, like, oh yeah, I could use those flavors together. I could do this. Like, do you just draw inspiration just from the ingredients when you go to the butcher and you're looking at the meat and you go, this is, I could see this coming, or
Yeah, you can. You can look at it. You can go to actually find a decent piece of meat that you like, and well, that's good. But I follow a lot of the internet now. It's full of. At the moment, I follow a restaurant called Fallow. I think it's in London, but there are a couple of chefs I think used to work for Esther Bloomington's.
Oh, okay.
So they just do the little TikTok videos of how to make perfect chips, how to make perfect this, how to make perfect sauce, and they've got different levels, and they're really, really good at it.
cool.
And
It's nice, isn't it, now that we have social media to go and.
so I've got a book, and obviously I stack these videos in a little file. The book, so the book at the back is ideas, at the front is recipes.
Love it.
Yeah, you go, oh, I'd do a bit of this, that, and the other, and then you think, oh, holiday sauce, but let's tie it up with something else. We use a slightly different ingredient, and then that's an idea, and then you can test it out, and then realize it on a piece of fish that goes well with a piece of fish or whatever. And
Do you have like days where you go, I'm going to go and buy a piece of chicken, beef, fish, whatever, and then bring it home and then go, I'm going to create something from scratch today?
well, the ideas, and then I'll go out and buy the stuff.
Yeah.
I think most recently, I've got an air fryer. I bought one about 3-4 years ago, and everyone's saying, oh, it's just a fucking gadget. I just bought it. It's cost me 30 quid from the supermarket, Ocean supermarket. I thought, I'm just going to thrash this.
Yeah.
And see what I can, just.
That's what you can get.
Yeah.
And so recently, I was like, I've got quite a lot of herbs in my garden. I bought some really nice garlic. I thought, I'm going to roast this in my air fryer with the herbs in silver foil and a bit of sort of really good olive oil or whatever, and then just mash the fuck out of it and make a paste.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's the other part of my cooking I did at my restaurant. Was I had lots of little bits like that where I could, there was stacked in the fridge. They last ages, and you think, oh yeah, I'll just add that to that, and but then to add just a little spot of that on the plate. So smear this, still smear that.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to get back more into that.
For fun days.
Yeah.
Fun days like that as well, isn't it?
So it can be like ready, steady cook in a way, but I mean, you can marry flavors together. You need to have a
An understanding or fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, and because we're so lucky out here with our weather and how big all the gardens are, that you can have like a veg plot in a herb area or?
Yeah, I'm all herbs. The veg is fine, but it's good. When at the restaurant, I had so many people just coming along saying, "Here's 20 kilos of tomatoes. Here's plums." You know, because that's what I do out here. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy who's come out used to give me beautiful beetroot, like small like that, and trimmed like they come out of Marks and Spencer's, you know, green beans, stuff like that. I was like, oh, so give him a free drink and then have their meal. And I was like, how many of these did you plant? He's like, 270. And they're just, so people just do it and they spend it. So they're actually producing really good, pretty much organic vegetables.
Yeah.
And they've just got such a surplus of them, they're just giving to you. So
I think that's great. It's like a community
The way of the world.
sharing. I think that's great because if somebody's got too much beetroot and somebody hasn't got enough, I don't know, and somebody hasn't got too many tomatoes, you can do like a food exchange, can't you? Which I think's really lovely idea, isn't it?
I was more into like sort of herbs, so you know, just making fins herbs and then putting into butter, or you know, making compound butters, you know, for
Nice.
stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the influence when you're in England, you can kind of end up loving things like, you know, Indian food and Chinese food and Mexican food. Like, it's a long time since I've been in England, but I gather now that
As an outsider, when I go to the UK, you'd think, oh, fish and chips and like mushy peas, like a lot of things that don't have a ton of flavor. And like the UK's really embraced all these foreign cuisines like Indian food and Chinese food and stuff, which actually have like really incredible flavor profiles that are developed, like you were saying, like, you know, you start in and you're building that with layers and stuff. And it's like, is that just because the British public just never had anything like that before? And they're like, oh, it's amazing. What seasoning? What's this? Garlic? What's this?
yeah, I mean, you read that in UK when I was a kid. I mean, you know, we just didn't have exotic fruits, or you know, we didn't have peaches or pineapple or anything like that. I think I came out with 10. You know. Fortunately, I was in France on a holiday, so I was exposed to that grandmother cookies. Like grandmother's French, so she's cooked typical, you know, just with chicken and peas. But my God, was it delicious?
Amazing.
That was the Swiss sausage, though.
Yeah.
So like that, because somebody was telling us recently, well, you know, a lot of times you go out to restaurants here and you don't get any sauces, and we're like, why don't you put sauces on your foods? And they're like, oh, that's grandmother's cooking.
Yeah,
And it's just become really common to just get like meat.
They're based. It's very basic. They're meat and potato countries. Dark. It's, you know, lots of red meat. I mean, you how much romana are you? How much meat can you eat?
Yeah,
You know,
no acid.
like, you know, good meat, red meat, good steak doesn't need a sauce. But I always believe that sauce makes a meal.
Yeah.
And there's so many. If you do like a blanquette de veau, for example, it's one of the first things we learned at catering college. And the reason you learn that is because it has so many different techniques in it to make, and you can cheat on it. But if you cheat on it, you know, you can taste it. Cheat. My God, it's beautiful. And you give that to an English person,
Yeah.
and they're just, wow, the flavour, the creaminess of the sauce, and how did you make that? And you know, you take out your egg yolks and cream, and you put it into it. Lots of lemon. You cook your mushrooms in lemon juice, and you make your own veal stock, or and you make a velouté, and then, you know, so you learn all these different techniques, and how to cook. You know, you don't fry off the meat. It's what they call the parfois. So you start with, you put the meat in cold water and you cook it up like that. Because the idea of doing a boeuf bourguignon or something, or something like that, where you use second or third category meat.
Yeah.
The idea of frying it off to seal it, it's ridiculous because you don't want to see.
You don't want to feel it
to go into the meat.
Oh, that's the only thing that I thought I could ever make was that I got taught making beef bourguignon when I first got here by two amazing French ladies who I'd never met before. And I had to like follow their steps and stuff. I mean, it did taste amazing. It was very traditional sort of, I guess, way of it. And they use this pressure cooker. Yeah. I'd never cooked with a pressure cooker or anything like that. And I was like, so I tried to recreate it at home.
Not so good?
No.
Oh, bless it.
You stick for like a boeuf, we call it estouffade de boeuf à la bourguignon. So you put your chuck meat, whatever, into red wine with some carrots and onions or whatever you want to do, and leave that for 24 hours. Just leave it in the fridge for 24 hours.
Okay, like uncooked.
And then you cook it from cold, and it'll take you 4 hours, and then you put the rest of your garnitures. It's a 5-hour job.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a lot for me.
And it just the flavour that comes out and the fat comes out. And
Yeah.
if you can use beef cheek, for example, or paleron, I don't know what paleron is. Most of my culinary experiences was in French, so most of my vocabulary is in French.
Yeah.
Some of the words I don't know what they are.
Well, this is a pardon your French.
Yeah. Pardon is French.
So beef cheeks and paleron are they're not very fatty. They're very gelatinous. So the stock you get is you can sit on it.
Wow.
It's so gentle and so hard.
When it cools.
And that excites me. I can't say about it.
Yeah, it's all famous and stuff, isn't it?
It's good for a terrine.
So, how much planning goes into your menu when you had a restaurant? Do you know what you're cooking next week, or is it I go to the butchers and this is
You don't see what's good.
Yeah, what's on sale that day?
You have stock stuff.
okay?
So I'd make my own pate, my own chutney, and you can muck about with gherkins and make fritters and stuff like that if you like. But that was always on the menu, because if someone doesn't know, it's not just what you think to plan a menu. Because if someone doesn't want anything, the bloke's gonna have pate, isn't he?
Yeah.
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 My dad loves he's gonna have a go. I know it's very silly to say, and it's not true. It's just a rule of thumb, but they might have goat cheese salad.
Yeah.
So you need to make it balanced.
Yeah.
So you can't put too much of a similar thing on.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got a very good friend in England who is an excellent chef, and his wife is also an excellent home cook. And he said to me, "There's two different jobs. There are so many good home cooks that are probably better than chefs. With better imagination, you use better flavors, and it's just complete. Because you've got more time, you can for less people, you develop, and you've got if you've been doing it for years, and you've got a large repertoire of things you can cook. And I've been amazed at some of the people. If you're a chef, people will either go, "I'm not inviting you."
Oh, because they're intimidated.
Or they're like,
That would be me, Alex. I'd be like, oh no, you can't try my beef burger.
I get incredibly defensive over their food. This is the way I do it.
Okay. Yeah.
They ask you, or they ask you a million questions. They'll break a chocolate mousse or something like that.
Okay.
But it's only when I go around really good friends' houses and have Sunday roast, and I'll say, "Oh, give me the veg, I'll chop and slice that." So I do a lot pretty good.
I love a chef fris and prep.
Let's say maybe make me a creme anglaise, or with eggs,
Yeah.
facilities for food for this, or
So obviously you were 40 before you kind of decided this is now your career path. Is it a career that you'd recommend to somebody else?
Worst fucking job in the world.
But you love it. But it's a hard job. I think it's famous for being so.
If you know what if you know what you're doing, then you do have a certain amount of satisfaction. I mean, where I'm working now, it's not eyes closed cooking, but it's very easy to do. It's just come in and want to say what you want me to cook, how many portions, and bang, off I go.
Yeah.
Nice.
When you have your own restaurant, you have your stock stuff, you find out what people like, what sells, and so you do that. But then you go out and you see what's looking good, the butchers or in the market or whatever,
Yeah.
and what you can afford. You have to price it out. You need to make money. It's so easy to fill up a restaurant. It's so difficult to make money. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's so many.
Well, especially
Yeah.
especially in France, that's one thing that we were talking about with Claire at Valentine's was the markup in France is what 400% is what is standard markup here.
Code for 4, just 3.5 to
Yeah,
3.5 to 4.
but you just don't see that in other places. Obviously, that's why so many people can move to Spain and open a restaurant. They might not be successful, like you're saying. They might not be making money, but there isn't that extreme level of okay, just to cover your costs.
Yeah.
You have to be charging 3.5 to 4.
You have to work out. I mean, I think
Times the amount.
if something costs you this costs you €4 to make. Then you add on a third. I was going to say it costs you €3 to make, for simple. You add on a third, so €4 in terms of by 3.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But pizzas are really popular because these are the best go-if in the world. It's about 7. So you pay €10 for pizzas, costing them about 120, 150 maybe.
Do you think there's a lot of like food snobs?
Fucking everywhere. Everybody.
See, I've never come across it. Like, you're a foodie, but you're not a food snob.
So are your friends?
Oh, I don't know. I can be.
I can do that home cheaper and better.
Well, we say that all the time. Yeah. There's a lot of restaurants. Like, we go to restaurants so we don't have to cook. Not because we can necessarily can't cook that better. It's like, I don't want to cook today. Let's go out for lunch. Yeah. There's certain places. To me, this is why Indian and Chinese took off so well in England as well. Those are things that if you don't have the basic knowledge and know-how, you can't make.
And the million ingredients.
Yeah, and the million ingredients. Yeah, so it's like going to get a curry, going to get lo mein or chow mein or something like that. Those are things that you can't necessarily make at home as good as you can get when you go out, or you definitely can't make it at home as good as we can get.
3 days.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like
Go out to
like steak
enjoy
shit.
food.
Well, the thing, I mean, I thought as a chef, I thought people are going for the food. That's it. They come for the food. Yeah. Over time, I had a very good waiter, very front of the house. So they taught me that actually it's the whole experience. And now I do realise it's the whole experience, not just one part of it. It's the experience, isn't it? Yeah. The good service, mindless.
I see the service. I've worked at many a restaurant.
Yeah, some place you go, I'm not sure. I can't choose to do 3 stars. They're all great, That's what you want.
Yeah, it is a whole package. Yeah, I think.
We all have really enjoyed it. I go back. My mum lives in England. She's French, but she lived in England for 60 odd years. And we do this deal now where we go. Our birthdays are fairly sort of similar dates, and so go out to England once a year. That's here, and we go out for a meal. But I always cook her a meal. She doesn't even eat; she just eats fish. So we go. We just go blow out. We go to Marks.
Oh, I do.
Bless her. Smokes and spaniel caserda, yeah.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, nice pot of chablis. We'll drink that while we're like, and then we get some scallops and
scallops. My nanny used to make those. Oh,
get pak choy and there's sea bass. Yeah, coriander and lime. All this kind of thing. I mean, it's a funny job because you're under immense pressure.
Yeah.
To service because 2 minutes is like
it's like an hour. Like.
So and you can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there must be other jobs too. Most jobs, you kind of, I made a mistake over it. So you can't in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But it's a job where everyone's got a little bit of creativity in them. Some of us want to be writers or painters or whatever. But we haven't quite got the skills. But then in cooking, you get together that little bit of creativity. If you're really organised and you're a good project management, critical path analysis sort of person, and you get to use those skills as well. And if you're good at finance, you get to use those skills. It's really becoming incredibly satisfying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You go home, you think, oh, I have been a bit creative. Yeah. I have been really well organised. My timing is probably the most important thing in the kitchen. Yeah. Timing, because the clock is. I was always told that the clock is your friend.
Oh, yeah, it's a nerve-wracking industry in general, isn't it? Even like being front of house or waiting, it's a very high-pressured environment, and it's a lot. But again, very rewarding when you've made somebody's birthday incredibly experience. Yeah. Because they go, the food was amazing. Like that experience that they shared with others is totally why I could see somebody becoming a chef.
It's one more little adventure.
You've got one more in you.
Yeah, maybe we'll get something going. We'll get something back.
That'd be great.
Yeah. That's always the right time, the right reason.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for listening and watching.
It's not. I think it's amazing. You've inspired me actually to get to the kitchen and come up with something and actually take the time instead of being in a hurry or a rush. Yeah. I'm going to plan something the day before.
That's what our act, isn't it? Living out here,
taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time.
We'll see you next time.